Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm Beth, a creator-based coach with CMH Coaching for Life. I'm here today to help you and those you love create a life you feel grounded and at home in. Think of a life where you feel peace, love for those around you, and in a flow with just enough challenge to keep you happy and creating something wonderful. Sounds like magic, but it's not. You can create that life every single day. You can have a life full of love, excitement, hope, and creation. Our mission at CMH Coaching is to flood the earth with light through compassion, mindfulness, and hope. And I'm going to ask a favor of you. If you like what you see and hear today, think of someone you know that would enjoy and benefit from this message. Our mission is to flood the world with compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Share this with them. But for now, this is time just for you. So settle into whatever you're doing and enjoy this time with the girls, where we create that one awesome, amazing, perfect life every one of us is seeking.
You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.
This is James Christensen's The Responsible Woman painting. And I just think it's the most amazing thing just to be able to see it. I haven't read the notes. So Jaycine, take us through. You just lead us on questions, or Jenn, lead us on questions, and we'll go through it.
You know what I think about? So I look at the name and I think, okay, responsible woman.
Oh,
And
I
this-
buck as soon as I see responsible.
know.
I'm like, I don't want to be a responsible woman.
I do want to be responsible, but sometimes responsible feels heavy to me.
Yeah.
And so, like, as I learned what the name of this piece of art was, we've been talking about gifts this month. And as we're talking about gifts, just looking at her differently. But like the first question you posed was responsible woman, kind of a question. So is this what it looks like for you to go back into the fall routine? So
Oh, yes, because
Yeah.
the happiness of going into the fall routine, that was the first thing I thought about with it. I love that she has a Ms. Frizzle skirt. Do you know Ms. Frizzle from the
Yes,
Magic School Bus?
Magic School Bus. Yep.
Yes, she's got goldfish or angelfish or something on her
Yes, I
skirt.
noticed that.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
that about? I was trying to figure out what's the symbolism for the fish.
I don't know. What do you think? What could it mean? I mean, they are angelfish, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
So maybe it's an aspiration, but maybe she's in charge of taking care of the aquarium too. I don't know. The other thing I really noticed is she's got clocks hanging all over.
Well, one is a
Yes.
compass. One is a compass.
Oh, it's a compass. You're right. Okay,
I
well,
love that.
that's what I think about. Oh, the compass, because she is the compass, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, she's probably the compass for a lot of people.
But yet she needs a compass herself to keep
Yes, she
herself
does.
on course.
Yeah.
You know, and her intent focus, I think, is part of that. You know, her compass, her direction, her focus. What is it?
Well, she is very intent on what she's doing. Well, when I first looked at them as clocks, that she had clocks hanging all over, I thought that is always what going back to into the fall and to the school season felt like to me. My life was run by clocks. We had to get up at a specific time. We had to be lots of different places at very specific times. And I felt a real loss of freedom. And so to see all of the clocks, I'm like, yeah, I didn't like that very much. Having to gone back and do it again, I would have changed my viewpoint. and my thoughts surrounding the clocks, because my clocks were my taskmasters, and I would have become the one in charge of my life over that period of time instead. And it would have been my choices whether or not we did the clocks, rather than the different activities at the different times. Yeah, I would do that differently now. In fact, I do that differently now. Now I have the opportunity to create what I want to create at the time that I want to create it. And that's even for pre-designated times. If it's a community meeting or a church meeting or an appointment with a friend, but they're still by choice. And at that time, back when I was doing all that stuff with my kids, I kind of felt a victim to the clock.
Yeah, it is kind of our perspective and how we look at it.
It really is.
Yes. Yeah. How
we look at it.
Right.
Yeah, it might be fun as we're looking at the different parts to kind of look at the different perspectives for the different things hanging off of her. Mm-hmm. So y'all, the things that are hanging off that look like candles, do you think that's a whole bunch of candles, or do you think it's something else?
I think it's candles before the yeah.
To hold the one candle up. Why do you think she carries so many candles then? Because everything else, I think she's only got one or two of.
Well, to me, that just represents, because the candle is her light, right? And it's so that she can see the direction that she's going, so that she can see. And sometimes when you're carrying all that stuff around, I know, when I was fully engaged in the mom world with kids at home and full-time job and community service and church service and
all the sports teams and the kids activities. There's a lot. You were really involved in the community. Yeah.
Right. And I see that she has a dog. We had dog, we had chickens because we lived on a farm. We had horses. We had 20 acres. We had, right. And that light or that candle, to me, just represents, okay, I can see my way. This is where I'm going. But by the end of the day or by the end of the week, my candle was down to a little stubby, right? And so I'm going to need a new candle, man. And I'm going to need to find a light. I'm going to need to find a lighter. And for me, that was always going to church on Sunday, because that always lit my fuse and put the oil in my lamp. But it might look different for other people, but for me, that's what it was.
Yeah, I love that. Yep. Church fills me up too. I love it. I love seeing my people. I love feeling the spirit there. I love participating, and oh my gosh, and the music. Yeah. I love it. Music has always really filled me up. It's one of my favorites. So what else do you see there? What do you think it represents? I love that she's got chiffon. I don't even know where the chiffon comes from, but do you see the pretty blue chiffon at the bottom?
Yeah.
I love that. It's so feminine. And
is that up on her shoulder? Is that a heart?
I was trying to.
Yes, it's a heart.
It is.
Yeah. You ever wear your heart on your sleeve?
Yeah. She's very
cool.
Open and very loving and caring. Yeah.
Yep. And of course, she's got the baby in the sling, which I kind of think might be the chiffon at the bottom. The baby in the sling.
As I look at this, these are all roles that at some point in our life we will have possibly carried out. But it's not every role that every woman has carried out. Because I didn't have children, so I never carried out that role. But to me, it just kind of represents what a woman has, all these capabilities. And sometimes she has all these balls in the air, but she's doing it,
Looking at it that way, she can be the woman of potential.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing it. I mean,
she's totally doing it. Right down from the dog to the roses. Do you think that she's a gardener?
Well, yeah. Or even look at the silverware and the pot. I mean, she has to take care of all the needs and the cooking and all that. And this,
that's a cast iron pot. That black in the middle
looks like a cast iron pot to me.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
wooden spools of the needle and thread and
Yeah.
the keys. What do you think the keys represent?
Could it be that she's the chatelaine? I mean, she's got all those responsibilities of home,
Maybe.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look at them more metaphorically. For
Uh-huh.
me, just the keys to the people's hearts that I touch on a daily basis. You know, whose heart, which key do I need for my one son's heart? Which key do I need for my sister's heart? Which key do I need for my husband's heart? Which key do I need for my friend's heart? You know, which key is it gonna work? And because they're so pretty. Look at how
Yeah,
pretty.
they're beautiful keys. And okay, so we've got the pot above the keys and the sewing stuff. What is the pot wrapped in? Can you tell?
Is it pearls? What is that? I don't even know.
Some type of jewelry, isn't it?
Well, it's tied around the ladle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So is it just rope maybe that ties it all together?
Possibly.
Because it's tied around the silverware too. Oh my gosh, there's a whistle. This is like, where's Waldo?
So those of you on the podcast are missing this picture. So if you want to look at the picture, Beth, where will you post it so that they can go look
I'll
at
put
it?
it on the
Show
50/50
notes.
girl page for sure. I'll post it. It's
but what-
James R. Christensen. You Google it, it comes right up. The Responsible Woman.
The responsible
And
woman.
you can purchase the print or the canvas on several different sites. It's not horrendously expensive. I seriously gave consideration to buying one for my office because she's so inspirational.
Mm. Well,
I
look
love
at
she has red shoes.
that's what I was just gonna say. And then for me, red ruby slippers, right? There's
There's no place like home.
No place like home. To me, the epitome of confidence is red shoes as well. A woman that will wear red shoes can carry off a lot.
She knows herself.
She knows herself. She
Confident,
stands strong, right? But
Does
yeah,
that
there's no
say
place
red
like home.
flip flops. I got red flip. Oh, you can't see. I have red flip flops.
I love it.
Yeah.
Look just below the baby. What is that ball of curious workmanship?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
That is a very curious thing. I can see the medicine underneath the ball.
Mhm.
She's got a bottle of medicine.
What is the ball?
If I could zoom, but
Wow.
it looks like a Christmas tree ornament, a ball of curious workmanship to me. But again, if you're going to go with the compass and she is the direction of her family, maybe that goes with the compass. That
Yeah,
is
more
it
of a
ink
spiritual
kettle or an
compass.
ink pot. Oh, I see. With the scrolls, I'll bet you that's an ink pot. You think?
Mm.
Looks
She's
like
got the rolled up scrolls on top of the pot, and then there's the feathers, and in between that, there's something that looks like maybe a tea kettle or a pot for her ink if she's going to do quill and ink. So she is the recorder, a writer.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
You know,
Yeah.
if you look at her skirts, she has many different layers, many different skirts. And I kind of just think, what about many different hats? She has to wear many different skirts. So, you know,
Many
kind of
different skirts.
Wearing-
Yes, they are
wearing
all
different
lovely.
Yeah. She has many different skirts to wear.
Yes.
But
And then there's the musical instrument. I'm sorry, Jen. Go ahead.
no, I was just thinking as we look at all of this, I mean, I see the broom, I see there's the musical instrument.
It just keeps going.
It does. You could probably study this forever, but looking at that and thinking about, you know, she doesn't, when you look at her face, she doesn't look like she's weighed down. This isn't making her heavy. So why do you guys think that it's not making her heavy and weighed down?
Well, then why would he paint her flying?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't he, paint her down on the ground,
Walking or something.
walking or standing?
Crawling.
Because there's a lot there, right? Well, and one of the things that he says is the artist, he says that this candle that he gave her is her candle of hope.
Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Right. And so when I think of her candle of hope, and then I see all the other candles underneath, and I see that she is lifted up, maybe they all tie together.
Mm-hmm.
That her candle of hope is part of what helps her to stay up and light. And she holds that candle out.
She has more to spare.
Yeah.
Light her own or give it to others.
Yeah. So she has extra candles to share. I like that idea.
Yeah. This hope. Yeah.
The hope carrier.
Yeah.
And what if we looked at each of those facets or experiences that she has, that she's carrying as, you know, I'm not saying things that she's conquered, but things that have experiences that have brought her strength. And so those have all made her strong. And as she carries those with her, she becomes light and she becomes able to leap tall buildings in one single
bound.
Yeah, just because each of those has made her stronger. They're not weights to weigh her down. They're things that have given her power and strength. They're not kryptonite, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. They have been gifts to her in her life. One of the other things I noticed is her jaw is not set and she has no wrinkles. She does not show any sign of stress. She just is peaceful.
Not gritting her teeth.
She's not gritting her teeth. I mean, you can see she's got a very nice jawline, but there's no tension through there, right? So she's at peace and she has a soft, steady gaze. Doesn't look like she's going to yell at anybody in the near future, which I think is really nice. Yeah. The gifted woman. Maybe he should rename this from the responsible woman to the gifted woman.
To me, that speaks better, but he's the artist, so he gets to name it.
That's right. He knows. And what a beautiful, beautiful work he's done. I mean, it is just gorgeous. The detail and the art itself is just amazing. Yeah. I love it. So part of what I see in her intent gaze is that she's very fixed in what she is about. Do you think that might have something to do with her ability to fly?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I think about times in my life when I have been fixed or maybe resolute is a word.
I love the word resolute.
Yeah, resolute. And I know where I'm going and I know the direction I'm going in is right where I need to be. I don't have the lines of stress or tension. It's just this, we've talked about flow so often. It's just, I'm in the flow and all of that tension leaves and I am able to carry with me so much.
Connected with your creator.
100%.
Okay, so I wonder then, how much of this did she create herself? Did she, clearly she created her own countenance through her thoughts and the things that she was considering. Did she create her clothing? Did she create the candles? What did she create with the sewing stuff? What's on those scrolls? What do you think's written in that? What would the record of her life be? Does she write music? And I wonder what the condition of her house is with that broom. There's a lot to wonder, but she seems absolutely resolute in her purpose. So what do you think her purpose is then, given what we see?
I don't know if we really know her purpose. I mean, like she knows it.
She clearly knows it.
She clearly knows it. And I mean, we can get, I think, maybe clues from what is in the picture, but do we know really what her purpose is? I don't know.
I can say her part of her purpose is to hold up her candle of hope.
Yeah.
And to love on that baby. But what she does with the rest of the stuff, oh, and she's got such great style with those red shoes. So let's take this just a little step further. She has gifts that help her fly. What gifts do you guys have that help you fly? And we're asking 50-50 girls as well. I mean, we'll talk about ours, but y'all think about this. What gifts do you have that help you fly? Because all of us carry stuff. We all are in different phases, but what do you have? What helps you fly?
I think I was given the gift of optimism, and it is a gift because I know that's not coming from a family of 9 people. There are not
Your family's not completely optimistic. Everybody's not exactly the same.
no, and in fact, we shared a meme this morning, and it was based, you guys, on a text my sweet mom sent me this morning. Just out of the blue, she just sent me this text, and she said, "Create your own beautiful day." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, Mom, that's just
Mom.
I love you." And my mom really doesn't talk like that often, and it was just like exactly what I needed and spoke to my heart. And just again, that gift of optimism that helps me be lighter. And also within that optimism is gratitude. And I think maybe that's the reason I'm optimistic, is because I've always had gratitude in my heart. Yeah, just a gift. That's a gift. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. If we're talking character traits like that, I think my husband might not agree, but I think that one of my gifts is determination.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And for her, you can imagine she will be flying like this for a long time.
She's determined.
Because she knows who she is. She knows what her purpose is, and she is determined to do it. Sorry, that's Max. Yep. Yeah.
Well, and when we have that knowledge and that, I guess, that sense of where we're going, and we know we're on the right path, even when we come up to obstacles, it helps us keep moving, right?
Yeah.
Helps us keep moving forward.
Yeah. How did you get your sense of purpose?
It's taken years. Like it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
A sense of purpose is a work in progress. And I think it started with wanting to know. Wanting to know. Mm-hmm.
Thinking that it would be helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I know I've had times in my life, guys, so I haven't always had this clarity, because I've come to times in my life where things change, our life circumstances change, or we physically change places, we move, or our kids graduate, or we have a new job, or we don't have a job anymore, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, circumstances change all the time.
Right. But finding, okay, what's my purpose right now and in this moment? And that takes time to be able to sit back and reflect, to meditate, to pray, to read scripture, to write, to journal.
Connect.
All of those things I think are necessary to not just find your purpose, but to know your purpose, to be quiet, to listen, and reflect. Reflection was huge when I turned 50, because my kids, I became my husband and I were empty nesters is a phrase that we use, no more kids at home. And we moved away from our family and pretty much started our lives over again. A new job for him, kind of new job for me. I created a business instead of working for an employer. Lots of changes, but I couldn't remember who Jaycine was.
Yeah.
And I had, in those moments of reflection and trying to find out just who am I? I had lived my life for my kids, for my family, for my grandkids, for my boss, and here I was with time and who am I? And those reflections took me back to, I had thoughts that said, pull out when you were a kid, the few things that your mom saved you from when you were, 8, 9, 10 years old. And remember who you were then and remember what you loved. And I found an old journal that I had written. We had to journal every day in 5th grade in Mrs. Servinsky's class. And I love to sing. I hope one day that I can sing in front of lots of people.
You did.
Yeah. And it was just all these dreams, when you're that age, you have the ability to dream, and just reconnecting with that girl who I still was. That was the crazy thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I still love to do that. Oh, I forgot.
That's
right?
who I am.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I've taken up a lot of time today, but
no, this is good. This is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's funny. You did that at 50. I did that at 40 and did because I thought I was completely done. And then at 41, I ended up pregnant. So that changed that. Can you guys hear him squeaking his toy?
No.
Okay, good. Then I'm just not going to worry about it. I took it and put it in my lap, and he just sat here like the prettiest little dog waiting for it back. I finally had to give it back. Yeah. When I was 40, I really thought that was life half over and that it was time for me to reevaluate and move on to being a real adult, because my kids were all getting big. I mean, my oldest was 20, 21, something like that. And I just thought that was it. That's the beginning of the end. And then I ended up pregnant, which let me be a kid for another 20 years, which was pretty awesome. I loved it. So for me, it was closer to 60 when I got in and started to really seriously reevaluate and recognize those. I mean, I knew my purpose with my family, but it's like you said, Jaycine, it's rediscovering your inner 12-year-old, and like, okay, so why am I really here? It was good. What about for you, Jenn? How did that go for you?
Oh gosh, I don't know where along the line I gathered the belief that when I turned 50, I might as well just pull up a rocking chair and bow out.
You'd be done.
I'm like, I don't know where that came from. And so it's been the past few years have just been like that discovering process that Jaycine has been talking about. And there are some days when it's really pretty clear my purpose. And there are other days that I'm just like, I just don't know, so, so it's a journey. It's a journey, but yet deep within, I know my purpose as a daughter of God.
Right.
I have that inner compass and everything. And I find my flying, this picture, I find that intensity with the relationship I have with the Savior. Mm-hmm. So it kind of doesn't matter where I am in that process of like, I don't get it or I totally get it. I always have him to rely on to help, guide my course. That's why I love the compass so much. The compass is just such a good symbol for me, because if I can stay true north to the Savior, then it doesn't matter what's going on around me. I can stay the course. But no, yeah, I was so grateful you shared that, Jaycine, because I'm like going, okay, so I will figure this out.
Yeah.
Because there are days that I think I have figured out. There's days I'm like, I have no idea, and things like that. But yeah, I do have an idea, if that makes sense.
Well, and it probably took 4 or 5 years of working with creator-based coaching or working with coaching before I got an assignment for creator-based coaching. And that's really what shifted things for me purpose-wise, because I'm like, oh, that's what I do. And that's where we're going. And that just shifted everything for us as a family, even. It just made a huge difference. She's beautiful. She is just beautiful. And she has so many gifts. The one thing that I really see that she is gifted with is presence.
Mm-hmm.
She is steady.
Mm-hmm.
She is attentive. She is softly focused on what's happening in front of her. I love that she's not looking back with regrets.
Mm-hmm.
She's just moving forward, just steady. And I know we've talked about the gift of presence before. And it really is a spiritual gift to be able to be there for someone or something and to be fully present. Jaycine, it's something that's special to your heart. You want to talk about a little bit?
It is, because I was that crazy woman running around doing everything, never having a spare minute. And I mean, that was reality in my world. I did never say no to anything. And some of that was really good though, because the moments that I was focused, I was able to focus when I was with my husband, just on my husband.
Mm-hmm.
We had that time. I was able to focus when I was teaching a seminary class, early morning seminary, just on that seminary class. And so there were moments in my life where I could just be fully present with what I was doing at that time in that place. And it's huge. It's really, really huge to be able to do that. And it is a gift. But I was thinking, I shared a post. There's a lady that a woman that we all love and respect. Her name is Patricia Holland.
Oh, role model.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Patricia Holland. Yes.
She just passed away on July 20th. And she was 82 years old. And she got to do a worldwide address to a group of young adults, which are ages, 18 to 30?
25.
25. Okay. 18
Yeah.
to 35. And it was January 8th, 2020. So if y'all want to look that up, Patricia Holland.
I think it's actually 18 to 30. I think I said that
30.
wrong. I think it's 18
Yeah.
to 30. But yeah, Patricia Holland.
Yeah. So January 8th, 2020, I think I put that wrong. I thought it was 2023. I might be wrong. It might have been just this year. I thought it was just this year, but it might have been 2020. But anyway,
I love that she is a very soft-spoken person and non-assuming. Like she's just who she is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember standing and watching her stand and visit and going, she's just like your friend next door, just your bestie. Yeah. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. I love that she was comfortable being who she is. Yeah. Her husband was very high profile, being the dean of BYU, and then also moving into a really large leadership in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints position, an apostle in that church. Anyway, she was in the background, but she wasn't.
No, she wasn't. Yeah. She was there for everything. She would just keep showing up. It was amazing to me and very, very brave when I think about it.
She shared a quote, which I loved. It was in that address. She said, "You can't get these blessings by chasing them. Please stop running to the point of exhaustion. Be quiet, be still, simplify, be meek and lowly of heart, and pray. I testify that miracles will come when we slow down, when we calm down, and when we kneel down. All that the Father has can one day be yours. What a truly hopeful way to face your future."
And there is the candle of hope right there in her words, right? Yeah. That is beautiful. Nobody can say it better than that.
Mm-mm.
If we were going to give a self-care tip from all of this that we've talked about, if we were going to help the 50-50 girls with something, would it be gift of presence? What would it be? What would you say, guys? Slow
For me,
down.
yeah, slow down. Slow down.
Yeah. It's a backward law. Slow down to do more. But in slowing down, it's amazing how much more we learn and see and do just by slowing down and being mindful. What do you think, Jenn?
No, yeah, I agree. You slow down, be more present and mindful. I think a lot of perspective comes when you do that.
Yeah. Summer's perfect. And as we make this transition back into fall through the month of August, to be mindful of every time we start to try and kick it back into gear for the next year and make the choice to move more deliberately, to move more with more awareness, to be more open to what's coming. I could see that really making a difference as we make this transition. I mean, we all love summer, but we all know the joy of holidays and the joy of football season and the joy of all the things that are coming again this, with the fall and winter. But wouldn't it be wonderful to move into it fully present and to slow down, like Patricia Holland was telling us? Yeah. So let's be mindful.
Be mindful. And like the 59th Street Bridge song.
Oh, yeah.
By Simon and Garfunkel, aka Feelin' Groovy.
Yeah.
So,
slow down.
Slow down. You move too fast. You gotta make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones. Doing the doot, feeling groovy.
I love that song. I just love it. It brings joy.
It does.
Yeah. Perfect. Slow down. Yeah. Just slow down. And while you're slowing down, maybe stop by book club tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Wednesday, or maybe stop by Coach and Clear tomorrow. Or on the 12th, we're doing our next Jumpstart. So that's coming up August the 12th. It'll be a little while yet, but there's so many beautiful gifts for us to enjoy. Just slow down so we can see them. Yeah. And carry your candle of hope. Carry it with you and shine it for everybody. So it's been grand, you guys. Any final words of advice or final sage, beautiful thoughts?
None.
Hey, how's it going with book club with the dog's journey?
It's good. I think everybody has finished it. So we've just been pondering, what our life journey is looking like. And we talked about that. Yeah. Just connecting the dots and looking at, because we did this, then this happened, or not happened, but we created this, or it created this opportunity, created this opportunity. So yeah.
That's cool. The gifts that come in your life. It's beautiful. Well, then till next week for Creator Base Weekly, we're going to sign off and we'll see you again very soon. Thanks, Jaycine. Thanks, Jenn.
I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think.
Hey, thanks for joining us today in A Creator-Based Life. I hope you felt that compassion, mindfulness, and hope you came seeking today. You can find more of it at cmhcoaching.com or on Linktree/CMHcoaching. Of course, any social media outlet, we're there too. Because you felt the benefit and light in this message, Please invite those you care deeply about to join us. Help us to create a ripple effect across the globe of compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Then we can create a creator-based life together. Have a great week, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.
Moment by moment, it's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about.